Stargate released in 1994. After initial disastrous test screenings, changes including transforming the main villain into an alien in a human body revitalized a movie, which turned it into a surprise hit in fall 1994. Fashion designer turned actor Jay Davidson sought to escape the limelight post his Oscar nomination for The Crying Game by pitching an unbelievable $1 million demand for his role in Rye. But undeterred, the producers accepted, leading Davidson to virtually quit acting after the performance and return to fashion. The ominous Ra from Stargate, initially scripted as a human slave to aliens, was transformed into an alien overlord following negative test screenings, with post-production adding chilling voice and glowing eye effects that later became signature traits in Stargate SG-1. Acclaimed director Roland Emmerich admits to having a fondness for rain, ensuring it features in all his films. Catherine magically sports her necklace again in the same Stargate scene, having just given it to Daniel moments before. In his maiden journey through the Stargate, Daniel Jackson's magically drying face swaps from sweaty to bone-dry between scenes. Daniel's pendant mysteriously alternates between being hidden and visible in different shots when he first enters the city with his team. The suspense rises as the bomb's timer wildly fluctuates, altering its countdown pace multiple times. In a surprising continuity error, Dr. Jackson's identified symbol for Orion on the cover stone astonishingly changes, losing and reappearing with the arm and bow. The crew ingeniously uses a satellite receiver for otherworldly communication, despite the impossibility of satellite setup or Earth contact. Despite their limited knowledge of its operation in the film Stargate, the team utilized an advanced system which tracked the probe's molecular deconstruction and displayed its location, remarkably, on the other side of the known universe, on an inconceivably comprehensive star map condensed onto a 15-foot glass board. Despite its advanced technology, the Earth team's mineral analyzer amusingly identifies quartz as a primary element instead of a mineral compound. Despite spending hours in the desert heat and a run-in with a yak-like creature, the Fifth Avenue chocolate bar Daniel gifts to a village leader miraculously remains crunchy, not melted. Colonel O'Neill can activate a nuclear weapon with a simple insertion of an arming device and timer setup, since the weapon arrives fully assembled for safety and radioactivity containment. Despite Dr. Barbara Shore's mention of carbon dating during a discussion on the age of cover stones, the method is ineffective on stone or metal, but can be applied on any connected organic residues. Remarkably, while Earth requires massive machinery to operate the Stargate, on Abydos it functions effortlessly like an enormous, self-locking combination lock. The central premise of Stargate posits that glyphs signify star constellations used as coordinates. However, from a different planet, thousands of light years away, these constellations appear altered or invisible, a problem seemingly accounted for by the ancients with Stargate addresses specific to each gate, a feature complicated in the TV series Stargate SG-1 with multiple addresses. In a captivating twist, a character inaccurately mentions that the Stargate is made of the same mineral that's being mined by the natives, sparking debate over semantics and the technical correctness of referring to metal-derived objects as their respective minerals. Surprisingly, the solid stone wall of the pyramid moves when Jackson tests its stability upon his team's first exit. In a thrilling discrepancy, the symbols displayed on the computer screens during the dial-up don't align with those on the Stargate as the chevrons lock in place. The three moons of Abydos depicted above the pyramid are cleverly manipulated images of Earth's moon. O'Neill and his team stumble upon a seemingly bustling mining operation, only to discover that the laboring natives are actually static images, ingeniously creating an illusion of motion. The final fight scene has a movie goof where O'Neill's shirt is pre-cut before the kid even scratches him. At the miners' celebratory feast, they intriguingly gather around a fireplace fueled by a gas ring burner, not traditional wood. In the film's opening scene, a 1920s car bizarrely sports a modern dual-note horn. The cat astonishingly meows on screen without moving its mouth. In a cinematic blunder, the film crew and a massive bounce card are visibly reflected in O'Neill's lens after Jackson's startling awakening by a desert beast. In the Blu-ray release of the movie, you can intriguingly spot the camera crew reflected in O'Neill and his team's sunglasses at the beginning. In a thrilling village attack scene, an unexpected behind-the-scenes element is revealed when the model of a ship swooping down clearly shows its supporting cables and guide wires following an explosion. In a captivating oversight, 2 stage lights are visibly reflected in Kurt Russell's sunglasses in a pivotal setup scene in which his character, O'Neill, orders a soldier to secure their base camp. The initial unveiling of the Stargate to Daniel Jackson is dramatically lit with blue-hued par fixtures, a lighting choice more commonly found in rock concerts and nightclubs rather than any military setting. Despite years of research, the Stargate technicians had struggled to find the 7th symbol in the dialing sequence, a feat Daniel accomplished relatively quickly, considering there were only 39 possible options, implying they could have figured it out within a month, even at a rate of 1 attempt per day. Despite their blaming of Daniel, Stargate Command could have intervened to save the stranded team by redialing the gate after a set period of time. The mission's true intent to destroy the Stargate on Abydos was vaguely explained, risking failure as the soldiers, potentially unaware they could be undertaking a suicide mission, weren't briefed about possible risks or contingencies if Leader O'Neill was incapacitated. Ra plans to increase a bomb's power, send it through the Stargate to Earth, purportedly annihilating civilization, despite the audience's lack of understanding of the Stargate's composition and response to a nuclear explosion. Despite requiring 7 coordinates for a course to a position in 3-dimensional space, only 6 glyphs need to be dialed on the Stargate, potentially a security feature to ensure only those with knowledge of the symbols can activate the gate, rendering the character Daniel Jackson essential. In a captivating mix-up, the gold medallion given to Daniel Jackson in the movie is named Eye of Re, but actually depicts the Eye of Horus, which you can tell because it looks to the left instead of the right. Despite wearing the rank insignia of a lieutenant colonel, Kowalski's character in the movie is curiously referred to and dressed as a lieutenant, creating a discrepancy in military accuracy. Dr. Jackson mistakenly called the writing hieroglyphics, a gaffe a true Egyptologist would avoid, preferring hieroglyphs or hieroglyphic writing. Despite the potential risks and lack of clear motives, excavators in both the 1920s and 1980s puzzlingly chose to stand the Stargate and its capstone on their edges in their respective scenes. Despite his military training, Colin O'Neill intriguingly holds his gun with his index finger on the trigger when approaching the Stargate on Earth, a maneuver usually only done with the intention to fire. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and comment below to suggest a movie for us to cover next.